Hi, this is Kim from Mom's Creative Moments, and this is the fifth layout in our 12 days of layouts for Christmas. And this layout uses the Candy Cane Lane pack. So if you were fortunate enough to go ahead and earn the Candy Cane Lane pack of papers, those are the ones I'm going to be using. But you could certainly use papers from another collection or from your stash, whatever works best for you. This layout is going to be a 2-page layout, but I don't have a finished page to show you because unfortunately I only got one pack of the Candy Cane Lane paper. And so I don't want to, I didn't want to have to do this layout twice. So you'll see the finished product when we get to the end, but I do have all of the tools that you're going to need and which papers I used, so you can choose those. So you are going to need your border maker system if you have that. If you don't have that, we're using the Picket Fence cartridge to make a weaving ribbon just like this. So if you have something that will make a weaving ribbon, then you can duplicate that, or you might choose to do a different type of a border when we get that far. You'll see what I mean. We're going to use repositionable adhesive as well as permanent adhesive. Here's our Picket Fence border maker cartridge we're going to use. We're also going to use our custom cutting system. We're going to use the red blade and the smallest oval that we have in the system. So you'll want to get that out. And then you're going to need a small piece of brown cardstock. You're going to need a piece of white cardstock. You're going to need the snowflake paper that's in there, or the snowball, snow at any rate. Paper. You're going to need something that is kind of golden brown. I chose the one with the holly on it. There are some holly berries on this pattern paper, but they're very, very faint. So this is going to be the backdrop of a fireplace. You're going to need a piece of a larger piece of dark brown cardstock, as well as a piece of black cardstock, just small, like this size. So it's about 5 inches by 4 inches, roughly. We'll get to accurate measurements in just a minute. You're going to need the striped paper that has this kind of orange-red stripe and peach, as well as you're going to need the paper that has the cool Christmas lights on it. And this layout is also going to be designed so that when you get your punch that has the Christmas tree lights, if you choose to, you can add them to this layout. All right. So if you don't choose to, you don't have to, of course. And if you're not getting if you didn't purchase enough to be able to receive this paper pack, then of course, you wouldn't have that option. But there is an older punch CM made that is similar to the lights. So you could use that. You're also going to need a campfire punch, which currently is in Last Chance. So if you are in Last Chance and you want to go ahead and take advantage of the bonus paper packs right now that are on sale for Last Chance purchases, this would be a great one to make. Okay, it is cool. It's got fire and it's got wood pieces. And so we are going to use that today as well. I'm going to set that just aside for a second. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I want you to go ahead and first I'm going to kind of clear the deck, as it were. Get some of these pieces moved just slightly. But we are going to also use this really pretty kind of lime green paper with the little hash marks on it. Those are going to be our mats for photos, so you'll need that paper as well. All right, so we're going to make some of these, and these are going to go around the edge of our design. If you have the border maker system, then you have the picket fence cartridge. That's this one. It comes with every Boilermaker system, and I'm going to show you today how to make the ribbon weaving portion of this, because you can do a smaller one, but this is a double wide weave, a double wide ribbon, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make that, just in case you don't know already. All right, so we're going to open our Boilermaker. We're going to load our paper up, our cardstock. Okay, flip our guide back so we're ready to go. Here is the handle for the Boilermaker system. We're going to pop that cartridge in, and we're going to go ahead and work our way down our page with the picket fence cartridge, way down our sheet of paper on our page. All right, and you want to be really careful, make sure that it's all nice and even. You don't have, you're not making any of your punches just kind of cattywampus. All right, and here is the trick. Actually, hold on one second. We have to trim this piece. I'm getting the cart before the horse as usual. Okay, we're going to get our trimmer. We're going to trim this piece to 1 3/4 inches. So that means you put the points on your picket fence right at the 1 3/4 line on this side of your trimmer. All right, so we're going to trim that. Move our cardstock out of the way. All right. Then this is the trick for doing the other side, and you'll see if you do it wrong, you'll know right away, okay? Because if you do it wrong, your openings for your ribbon will not line up properly, and you'll not be happy with it, trust me. All right, so you know when we need to punch a piece of paper that is smaller and won't reach the ribbon, magnet ribbon that's right here, we have to add some sticky notes. So we're going to add some sticky notes to our punched piece very quickly, okay? And this is the same way it was when we had it in here in the first place. Punched this direction. All right. Now the key is you're going to flip it over from left to right like this. This is the side we're not going to see. All right. Don't take it and flip it this way. And you have to flip it from left to right. It's especially important that you be careful of that if you're using paper that is all white on both sides, so you can't see what the negative side was. All right, so we're going to go ahead and line this up, and you'll see how it catches perfectly. So you have nice, even lines all the way across. Like I said, if you put your paper in the wrong way, you will know right away, because it will not line up perfectly when you do it. No matter what you try to do, it won't work. All right, so you're going to need to punch 4 of those. 1, 2, 3 of those. I beg your pardon. 3 of those for your ribbons that are going to go around the edge. Okay, let's just set those aside for right now, and then we will get to those in just a second. Okay. So go ahead and pull out your striped paper. And the striped paper, we're going to cut at 3/4 Nope, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. We're going to cut the striped paper at 5/8 of an inch wide. So you need a strip that is 12 inches long and 5/8 of an inch wide this way. Okay, and I'm not going to be cutting that because I've already cut mine, but you should end up with, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips of the striped paper that is 7/8 of an inch wide by 12 inches long. And when you get those, then you will take your picket fence ribbons that you've made, and you're going to weave 3 of them. You're going to weave your ribbon through. Now you can choose to do this however you like. I tend to go over 2 and up 1, up after 1, but it is completely your call how you want to do it. It is a little bit fiddly, to borrow a phrase from a good friend of mine, but if you just work with it just a little bit, you can pull or push that paper all the way through till it makes a really nice ribbon. And you're going to weave, like I said, you're going to weave three of your ribbons through. It does help if your hands are not too dry. If your hands are dry, then it's harder for your fingers to grasp the paper and move it through. Oops, I went over 1 there instead of over 2. That look? That looks okay. So, okay, I just noticed I did this different. I did this one differently. So you can do it however you want. But on my samples that I did, I went over 2 and under 2, over 2, under 2. On this one, I went over 2, under 1. So whichever way you like it better, you can certainly customize this to make your page exactly what you prefer. All right. Now we're going to cut a piece for the fireplace out of that gold paper, and that's going to measure 6 inches by 5.5 inches. So 6 inches this way, 5.5 inches this way. This is the base for the fireplace. And once you have that cut, 6 inches by 5.5 inches, you're going to glue it down here, roughly 3/4 of an inch from the edge, and flush with the bottom of your page. All right. Then you're going to need your dark brown paper, dark brown cardstock. This one is going to be 4 inches wide and 4.5 inches high. 4 inches wide and 4.5 inches high. And this piece is going to get adhered to the very center, still flush with the bottom, so you have a bronze or a golden border all the way around. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that down. All right. And again, this layout, I apologize that I'm not cutting the pieces as I'm going, so you can see in real time how long it takes, but you can always start and stop the video. And you're going to also need a piece of black cardstock, and the black cardstock is going to be cut at 3 3/4 this way, and 4 and let's see, where's that? 4 3/8. So we're looking at 3 3/4 this way wide and 4 3/8 inches high. Okay, and this is the piece that's going to go right in the center of that brown cardstock. Again, that's 3 3/4 wide this way and 4 3/8 high. Again, flush with the bottom of the page, centered in that brown field. All right. Now you're going to take one of your pieces of ribbon that you, I beg your pardon, you're going to take the piece of ribbon that you did not weave through. So this is going to be your border piece. So a piece of your striped paper that you cut before, it's going to be your mantle piece. It's going to go right across the center of your page, right on top of your golden paper where that's creating your fireplace. And that one's going to just go straight across all by itself. All right. Now we have a Christmas tree that's going to go up this side of the page, and I'm going to show you how we're going to make those Christmas tree boughs. I made this template for myself. I used my red blade for the custom cutting system, the small template, and I cut around the outside edge of the small template using the red blade. Then I took my cut piece and I laid it on my mat, and my mat has grid lines on it. I would hope that whatever mat you're using also has grid lines on it. And what I did was I raised my template up until the center of my template was just off my piece of paper and centered on my grid lines. And then I cut around to make that kind of elliptical cut. So let me show you. I have one of my ovals here, and I'm going to place it on my mat. Can you see that? Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and put some cardstock underneath it so you can see it easier. Okay. So we're going to I'm going to line up my cardstock just so that it's even. Okay. And then we're going to put center our cut piece, cut oval, so that I can see that this is my center line. I'm going to take my template and I'm going to line it up so that the edge of my cut piece is at the center of this center space on my template. And so that center line on my mat is cutting it in the center this way. So I know that my template is as centered as I can make it. All right, and then I'm going to just cut this side of my oval. So putting the posts in the trough and cutting along that edge. All right, so then I have a cute little elliptical moon shape. Okay. Now you're going to use your Christmas light paper and you're going to cut 4 circles or 4 ovals using this paper. So you have 4 smiles like this, right? Then you're going to use your striped paper and you're going to cut 2 out of the striped paper. All right, so this is our extra piece we don't need. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing and you may need to look at it again, but I'm not going to go over it again in this video. So you'll notice if we turn over the lights, we have this really pretty green pattern on the back. If we turn over the stripes, we have a cute polka dot. Okay, so we have several different things that we can add to this tree. I don't really want to use the stripes again because I've used the stripes here and I'm going to be using the stripes around the other borders of the page. So I'm going to flip both of those and use the polka dot side. Plus green is more for a tree anyways, in my opinion. All right, and we're going to use these at varying shapes and sizes. You'll see that I kind of munched the corner on this one. I'm just going to trim it here really quick just to clean it up a little bit. There we go. I don't know if that happened when I was cutting or if that happened while I was waiting to get the time to video this, but at any rate. So each of these is going to kind of be stacked in front of the fireplace. And we are going, but we need a trunk for our tree first. So here's the trunk of our tree. And you can make your trunk as wide as you would like it with your scrap of paper. I'm gonna just kind of adhere mine at an angle. That way I can, I'll trim off the extra in just a second. And then I trim off the rest of this. So I'm gonna go kind of like so. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of a branch. Now I want my fireplace, to be partially hidden by branches. So I'm gonna go like into my fireplace with that branch. Then I'm going to use a polka dot. I think I was from a polka place. I'm not from a polka place. Polka dot. Polka dot? Is it polka dot or polka dot? I don't know. Anyway. Maybe someone can set me straight on that someday. You're just going to build your tree up as high as you want your tree to go. You can go with these. I would just go ahead and repeat your pattern however you choose to make your pattern of your paper so that you have kind of a gradual swoopiness to your tree. As it goes, it gets taller and taller. Trees are not perfect, of course, but when you're building your own, I suppose you can make it as perfect as you want it to be. All right, so once you get all 6 of those pieces on there, what you're going to do is you're going to turn this over and we're going to trim it off. You can trim it off using your scissors, which is perfectly acceptable. You can get your trimmer out and you can just do a really quick trim of the edge using your trimmer, which is what I'm going to do for the sake of time and accuracy. I'm just going to trim those off just like that. Don't get rid of them though. We're going to keep using them. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that base of my tree stalk also. Okay, now we're going to keep building our tree. And you'll see we've got several other pieces we can use. Although I probably won't be using too many more. I'm going to go ahead and use this one because I have the same swooping on this piece. Oops, I picked up the wrong piece of. Put that under. All right. Well, we'll have to make sure this one's in the place where I want it. Since I've got not repositionable adhesive under this one. Okay, so there's that one. So we're gonna do, I don't have an additional swoopy one of this pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this piece over, kind of follow that curve. I'm going to get my, do a little fussy cutting here real quick. So I'm going to match the curves as best I can. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use this other piece as an outline so that I have a matching curve that I can keep following my pattern for my tree. This is what you call scrapbooking in real time. This is not the kind where everything's prepared ahead. So bear with me here. All right, so we've got this one. And these branches are going to be a little bit further apart just because I don't have as much to work with. And that's okay because our tree's going to actually, I think, finish. I'm going to finish it right here. Okay, so then we're going to just trim off those edges. You can use your trimmer like I did before, or you can use your scissors and just cut those off. Like that. There's our tree, complete with some lights, which is awesome. Then what we're going to focus on is our fire that's going to go in the fireplace down here. And if you use your lined paper, you can punch your lined paper with those kind of red-orange stripes and make your fire. And I used my brown cardstock to make my logs. Now this is a pretty big fireplace. If I was just to put one little thing of logs in there and one little fire like the punch has, it looks like it would be kind of wrong, right? Quite minuscule. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to have like 4 times as much fire. So I punched these logs 4 times out of brown. And of course they punched fire out of brown too, but fire is not brown. So we're going to build our fire pit up a little bit with more logs. Just like so. And then we're going to add our fire, because this time of year everyone loves to get cozy by the fire, right? So I'm going to do some flames coming from the back. Just like so. And do some flames kind of coming from the logs closer to the bottom. You can put as many of these in here as you like. I think I might have added one more little flame kind of in there somewhere, but I don't have it handy. So I may come back and do that later. But at any rate, we've got our tree, and our tree needs a star. So let me find my stars. Oh, I beg your pardon. You know what? In the embellishment pack that came with this kit came this really cute little star. So I'm going to use this. Of course, I'm only going to use half of it because only half of my tree is showing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Actually, no, I'm going to put it on my page first, and then I'm going to cut it so that I can make sure that I'm not cutting it wonky. So we're going to just line up the tip on the tip of our tree and adhere that on, and then we can trim off that star. Finish up the Christmas tree. There we go. Okay. Now, these cute little borders that we made, I should have put that on first because I think that's going to need to go under, but that's okay. I used repositionable adhesive, so all will be well, trust me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put some repositionable adhesive on the back of these. Make sure that you put that adhesive over both the ribbon and the picket fence ribbon that you made so that everything will stay stuck down. And I'm going to just remove that star here real quick because this piece needs to go across the top, and you're going to put your points all the way to the edge and stick that down, and then we'll put the star back on the tree. Sorry, Mr. Star. To upset your apple cart there for a second. All right. I'm getting close to being finished. This is a long one. This is, like I said, scrapbooking in real time. Sometimes it takes a little bit of extra patience. Okay, so we're gonna just scoot this to the side so that I can bring down our second sheet for our 2-page layout. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and put another one of these across the top, our woven piece, so that it matches. So the woven piece. And if you want, like I have said before, go ahead and put your papers together so that they are right where you want them, and then you can line up your ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and put the short end of my ribbon on this side so that I have the same pattern in my ribbon all the way across both pages. You can do it however makes you happy, but that makes me happy. So I'm going to, unless it bugs me when I look at it and the pattern is drastically different. All right, this piece is going to go right across the middle. Again, use your repositionable adhesive, 4 or 5 spots. Okay, And this one, we're going to go ahead and line up with the mantle on the fireplace side. That's straight across. Right, and then this piece is going to go across the bottom right here. If you prefer, you can cut another ribbon of another one of these. You can create a fourth one, and you can put half of it across here if you like that symmetry. If you like a different border, you can use a different border. And then I used our lime green paper to just make some mats to go on these pages. I don't always make mats for my photos, but when I do, I try to stick with similar dimensions to my actual photos so that I can just crop my pictures just slightly and already have a really nice looking mat there. So you can devise these however you like. I think I'm gonna do mine more like this. Super shifted. Go back. Oh. Couple. Like so. Maybe more like this. Shift it's over. And all. Probably, actually, the better way to do it would be the shift to leave these kind of together down here. And shift these over. We can put embellishments in these corners because we already have this down here. That'll keep it more balanced. Now in your embellishment pack, you'll find a really cute stocking which can hang on the fireplace there. You'll find a cute little decorative tree and a snow globe of a Santa, which I thought were really cute, and that they could kind of sit right here on the mantle, sort of. But I didn't want to cover up the photo up here, so they sit actually just a little below the mantelpiece. There are a couple of extra little sprigs of ornaments that you could use here on the corners of your fireplace if you wanted, or you could use these as your accents in the corner, maybe down there, which you can't see. Let me scooch this over so you can see that. That didn't help it at all, did it? Hold on. Get my scraps. I'm gonna just go ahead and overlap this centerpiece just a little so I can get both of these pages in, so you can see. So we've got just a little something there. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little something up here, kind of like that. There's other pieces in the that came in your cute little ornament that you got along with this collection that you could use. There's cute little sayings. There's Merry and Bright, which we could put on there. Or Merry Christmas, y'all. You've got Rudolph you could put, or here's some more holly. which we could add maybe somewhere. Anyway, you can come up with something cute, I'm sure. But what I was going to show you is if you, when you get your punch that will allow you to make those cute, that cute string of lights, you could go ahead and put that across the center here as your string of lights, or you could put it across the top to add some cute dimension to your page. But otherwise, this is a cute little layout to go ahead and put your pictures maybe of the night before Christmas on, or something like that. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too convoluted, scrapbooking in real time with me today. And I hope that you were able to create some really special moments with your family that you can go ahead and preserve on pages similar to this, and that this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, be sure you put it in the comments and I will reply and help you out. All right. Thanks so much. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and I hope you'll tune in tomorrow for number 6 of our 12 Days of Christmas layouts. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye now.